What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. And today I just wanted to share with you 3 simple reasons why I'm still using the Kontakt platform in my musical productions. And there are so many different sample players on the market, so many choices available at our disposal. So why do I still keep on using Kontakt? And in this video, I'll share with you 3 simple reasons why. Just before we get into it though, if you are curious about my full composing, writing, orchestration process and going from the initial idea all the way to the final polished piece of music, then I want to give you free access to my workshop down below in the description. I call it the Complete Composer's Framework, and it walks you through step by step, literally how I go from the initial idea and craft it, polish it, orchestrate it, mix and master it all the way to the very end. And so I pull back the curtain, nothing is left unturned, and it's helped a lot of my students, and I want to give you free access to that down below. So if you want to check out that link down below in the description box, you can get access to that right away and watch it whenever you'd like. Okay, so that being said, let's kind of get into why I use Kontakt. The first one is just that it's simple. And I think a lot of different players, they have a lot of functionality, which is really good for people who like to tinker and people who are just really techy, I guess, overall. But for me, I'm a relatively simple person when it comes to tech. And admittedly, there was a bit of a learning curve when I first started learning Kontakt as well. So it took me a few weeks to learn from the very beginning. But once I started getting used to it, I realized that to actually create music and get sample libraries up and running inside of Kontakt, it wasn't really that difficult. Like, I could get up and running literally within 30 seconds. And that sort of workflow for me is just one that I've gotten used to over time. So the underlying simplicity behind Kontakt and just being able to get things working is just a really good positive indication for me that I should continue using that platform. Even if that means I miss out on some libraries from other platforms, yes, that should be the case, yes, but I don't regret sticking with Kontakt because pretty much I have everything I need within the Kontakt platform and the libraries that are contained within. But that being said, like, if you do want to get really complex with Kontakt as well, you certainly can go under the hood and tweak really anything you want because it really is a sampler as well. So it's just a personal thing there, but I do like the simplicity of Kontakt and that it affords me. The second reason is the stability aspect. And a lot of other players have given me problems in the past, especially when they were newer, right? Being developed in the first couple of years, where I would be using them and then suddenly either my DAW would crash, like Logic would just close down, or it would literally restart my computer. And that is a very scary thing. If you're working in the middle of a project and you haven't saved for some reason and it just crashes, hopefully you have auto save on, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way, right? So Kontakt never really has given me that problem. I have had issues where there are system overloads and maybe, things freeze for a moment, but that's usually down to a personal problem, right? Like I need to freeze tracks or bounce tracks. I need to move my samples to a better SSD, those are things under my control, but the actual Kontakt platform itself has always been relatively stable. And so it's been something that I've been using for a long time, and I never really have had any issues with it. So I can highly recommend Kontakt for that reason as well. If you want something stable and really proven and just battle tested, then I think Kontakt is a great way to go. Little side note, it's really cool that Native Instruments is continuing to update the platform as well to kind of, have new functionality, include new things that people are looking for. Sometimes they do ask for an upgrade pricing, like a cross-grade pricing to go to the newest version, which obviously is not ideal, but the fact that they still do update it and put new things into it is definitely a cool thing as well. So the stability aspect is number 2. The third thing, and this is probably for me the most important, is just that it's so commonly used in especially the orchestral field that we're in here. And so a lot of orchestral sample libraries and developers, they are made for Kontakt because it's a platform that a lot of the big companies use as well. And I don't know the exact process of getting your library into Kontakt and scripting for Kontakt because I'm not a developer, but the fact that most of the customer base still uses Kontakt is a good enough reason for many developers to stick with Kontakt as well. Like, if your customer base is already using a certain platform and they've been used to it for a long time, then why make that change, right? Now, of course, making the change is a big task. Like, think orchestral tools, Spitfire Audio, Cinesamples with Musio, VSL, East West, they all have their own players, and that's a great thing for them because they have ultimate control over their products. They can really tweak things as quickly as they want to because everything is under their control. They can add things to it really quickly. everything is there, but the amount of resources that have to go into that product and continue to maintain it and update it, that's a cost that a lot of developers can't afford. Plus, on the user side, right, the end user side, for them, that's an additional learning curve. And while they might really well enjoy that new platform, there are certain platforms that I've used and really enjoy. I think just having something old and familiar to go back to is, at least for me, sort of a nostalgic feeling, and something that I do place importance on. Knowing that there is something that's proven and used often, right, and commonly used, for me, that's just something that I decide to stick to. And yeah, it's paid me dividends over the years because it allows me to simplify my workflow and keep sort of a musical focus on my work. You know, I try not to get caught up in new functions and GUIs, especially like the interfaces of sample libraries that have lots of knobs and stuff inside them. It really just overwhelms me. And so I just want to drag in a patch, start playing, make music, record, and then, you know, be done with it, you know? So that's the third reason. It's just because it's so widely used, and a lot of libraries use Kontakt, and all the libraries that I have give me everything I need. So I really have no need to go to other developers and use their players, with few exceptions. But, you know, most of the libraries I need are located within Kontakt, and it's likely going to stay that way. So if you're at all hesitant about Kontakt, right, or you're maybe using Kontakt and you're curious about switching to a new platform for different libraries, really examine that thought and ask yourself, like, is that really necessary? Am I really making the most out of my current Kontakt libraries? And is Kontakt really limiting me? Like, do I really hate the workflow that much that I feel a need to switch to a new platform? Or maybe it's just that I need to get used to it, or I need to improve a couple of workflow things to make that, to adapt to the Kontakt workflow and just go from there. Because I think that's probably the best way to go, is to have that sense of flexibility and just, you know, just continue from there. So hopefully that kind of made sense. Those are the three reasons: simplicity, stability, and then the commonality across different libraries and different companies that use Kontakt. It's a proven system, proven platform that's been used a lot. And yeah, I use it every single day in my work. So yeah, hopefully that kind of made sense. Again, if you want to check out my full start to finish composing and orchestration workflow, all the way from the initial idea to the final polish master, check out that workshop down below in the description. It's completely free and it's really valuable stuff, and it's really helped a lot of my students, and I wanted to help you as well. So really appreciate you watching. I'll catch you in the next video, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.